Ariel Helwani alongside UFC President Dana White after UFC 125. And Dana, we're used to talking to you at the post-fight press conferences, not at beautiful restaurants like this one. The first question is, and it's the question we've been asked by a lot of people, why weren't you at the press conference?
It's Lorenzo's birthday tonight, so wow. Yeah. So Craig Borsari did the press conference, and you persistent, faced me down here at the restaurant, and here we are.
Well, we appreciate the time. Thank you very much. A very interesting event, and one that was highlighted, obviously, by the lightweight title fight that ended up in a draw. First, I'm curious to get your thoughts. Who do you think won the fight?
I thought, listen, going up into the octagon, I didn't know. I tweeted right before we went up there, let's see what the judges have to say, but we thought it was going to be a draw, too. You know, I'm usually the first guy to go out and slam the judges. I mean, the only thing, you know, all the judges didn't agree on it being a draw. If any fight ever could have been a draw, this is the one that could have been. And I was saying, one of the reporters texted me earlier and said, listen, what do you think the first round was? I said 10-8. And he said, well, if that was a 10-8, then 10-7s don't exist. And I'm one of those guys that believes a 10-7 is like a unicorn, man. You know, some people have seen them, but they're very, very rare.
Off the top of your head, I don't know if you remember, third and fifth rounds seem to be the rounds everyone is kind of going back and forth on as to who won those rounds. Who did you score those rounds for?
God, I don't remember off the top of my head. First round was Gray-Maynard. Second round was Frankie Edgar. I'm pretty sure I had the third going to Gray, and then the next two going to Edgar.
So overall, I mean, obviously, it's not the result. You want to have a decisive result, but
well, here's the thing. I say this every time, no matter what happens or who wins or how it goes. My opinion doesn't mean shit. You know, it doesn't matter. But I'm always the first one to say this was horrible. The judges robbed this guy. They took this from him. Tonight, going in and hearing that was a draw, in no way, shape, or form did I go, oh, my God, this is bull. Gray got robbed. What you saw tonight was a lot of people have doubted Frankie Edgar, even after beating BJ Penn twice and all the things that have happened. To overcome the first round that he overcame, and to get back into that fight, you know, for it to even be considered a draw, this kid is amazing, and, you know, he did a great job tonight. A couple fights back, I said Gray-Maynard wasn't ready for the title. The fight, Gray-Maynard proved tonight that he is ready and put on what's going to be, you know, a considered fight of the year for the rest of the year.
In that first round, was there any point when you thought, you know what, they should stop this fight, Frankie can't fight anymore?
Yeah, the fight could have been stopped. Absolutely.
You would have been okay with that?
Yeah. If the fight got stopped in the first round, I don't think anybody would have disagreed or complained.
So a tip of the cap to Yves Levine for letting it go on, because clearly Frankie could, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's one of those situations. It's always tough being a referee. There's guys like, for instance, tonight during the Vera Silva fight, again, and I have nothing personal against this guy. I don't even know him. Steve Mazzagotti's the worst referee in the history of fight. I mean, I can't stand this guy. He's so bad. It just makes me cringe every time he steps into the octagon. Okay, you know, these guys are on the ground for 4 minutes, sometimes not even doing anything, and he doesn't stand these guys up. I mean, he's just horrendous. But I think that everything else, yeah, I think he did a great job tonight. He let the fight go on in the first round when it easily could have been stopped, and it proved that Frankie Edgar could go on.
We talked to Anthony Pettis after the fight, and his first reaction was he was very nervous that he wasn't going to get his title shot next. What are you going to do? Are you going to give the shot to Maynard, or does Anthony get the shot next?
Well, you know what happened? I'm in my room in the back, and, you know, all the guys are getting back together, and there's this whole argument going around that, you know, well, Pettis now has his title, and he's da-da-da. You know what? Gray-Maynard proved tonight, you can't not give Gray-Maynard this fight. You got to give this kid the immediate rematch. You know, and I've been thinking about it for hours, and I know I told Craig to go to the press conference and say Pettis is getting it. Pettis isn't getting it.
Gray-Maynard's getting it.
Gray-Maynard's getting this rematch.
What do you think you'll do with Anthony Pettis? Does he have to fight someone else, or does he just wait?
I got to figure it out. I'll figure that out. You know, Gray-Maynard, everybody was talking, this guy should be next. I said, no, he didn't look great in this fight. We're giving it to Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar won the title. I'm going to say I was right in that decision, and I'm right in this decision right now that Gray-Maynard deserves this immediate rematch, and he's going to get it.
When Craig said this at the press conference, the look on Gray's face, he wanted to cry when he heard that he wasn't getting the shot. What made you change your mind in the last couple hours?
I don't blame him. I don't blame him for wanting to cry after hearing that. Because you know what? I don't make these decisions. You guys always ask me questions at the press conference, and I never make those decisions after the fight. You got to sit back. You got to think about stuff. You got to, you know, and I shouldn't even have had to think about this one. It should have been a no-brainer that kid gets the immediate rematch, you know? But we get in the back, and people start talking, and, you know, I make those decisions. I make them. And you know what? I said, you know, this kid deserves the shot. It is what it is.
One last question on this fight. A lot of people were dogging both guys going into it, saying, you know, not exciting styles. I remember after UFC 118, are you really going to make this the main event? A lot of people were not really expecting a great show out of them. I know you don't like to talk about how proud you are of guys, but they put on a show out there, right?
I'm going to use the word morons, okay? You have these morons that start talking about fights before fights happen. This fight sucks. That fight might not be exciting. This fight might be boring. Did anybody think Chris Lieben was going to get knocked out in the first round by Brian Stann? No, everybody was talking, saying that fight was a huge mismatch, okay? Wrong. All the experts thought that Gomi was going to knock out Clay Guida or beat him. He got submitted. Everybody said that Frankie and Gray was going to be a boring fight. Wrong again, idiots, morons, okay? You can't judge a fight until the fight happens. You don't know what's going to happen in a fight, especially in mixed martial arts. You don't ever know what's going to happen until it happens.
I don't want to take up more of your time, but just running down the card, anyone in particular that really impressed you?
They all impressed me tonight. I think tonight was a great fight. I mean, it was a great night of fights. All the guys came in and delivered. Everybody did what was expected of them. I'm really happy with all tonight's performances.
And you rolled the dice with Ion. You made it at the last minute there due to the Jeremy Stevens knockout. Just wondering if this is something we could expect to see in the future, the UFC on Ion.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many dates that we can do on Spike, but in our deal we can do other on broadcast networks. So yeah, Ion's great. Listen, all the fans always want to see the prelims, and we were able to deliver it to over 100 million homes tonight. So absolutely.
Well, Dana, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much. Go back to your birthday party, and congratulations on a great event, and Happy New Year.
Always a pleasure, brother. Thank you. And Happy New Year to all you out there. Thank you.